Once in a while, you come across a moment in video games that leaves you speechless and in awe. A moment that you won't be forgetting anytime soon. Hey everybody, I'm Ricky with WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most famous scenes in video games.
Thank God for tunnels.
For this list, we'll be going over scenes and or moments in video games that are the most well known. Now, despite how popular these scenes may be, there will be spoilers ahead if you don't know the games in question. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Removing the Master Sword. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The Legend of Zelda franchise has a host of memorable and iconic scenes to choose from, but easily its most famous is the moment Link first lifts the Master Sword in Ocarina of Time. In order to stop Ganondorf, the young hero Link draws the sacred Master Sword from its pedestal, only to find himself flung forward into a future where his foe has already taken over. Although not the first game to feature the most famous Zelda item, Ocarina of Time was the first to feature such a detailed scene of the event. Also, the fact that you have to repeatedly draw and replace the sword to travel in time really cements the moment in gamers' memories. Number 9. Samus is a woman. Metroid. The oldest game on our list, the original Metroid saw players explore an alien cave system, battling monsters, and defeating space pirates. Despite the labyrinthine level design, practice, as well as maps, both official and fan-made, helped early players get through the game faster and faster. If completed quick enough, players were treated to an alternate ending screen, which revealed that the protagonist Samus Aran, beneath all that space armor, is actually a woman. This revelation, in addition to making her one of gaming's earliest and most iconic heroines, was a very, very memorable twist. Number 8. White Phosphorus. Spec Ops The Line.
There's always a choice. No, there's really not.
Most modern shooters tend to, if not outright glorify war, then at least sidestep its more grisly consequences. While Spec Ops The Line may look like most other shooters, it doesn't act like them. The game is a bleak satire of war and games that idolize it. Probably its most infamous scene occurs when the protagonist Martin Walker orders his team to use mortar attacks containing white phosphorus against an enemy location.
Okay, prepare to fire. That in order? Yeah, it is.
After the player locates the targets with infrared and launches the attack, the player then has to make their way through the area you've just attacked. It's here you discover that not only have you committed a war crime by using chemical weapons, but you've also used them on civilians. Talk about horrifying.
What? Oh no.
Number 7. Marston's Last Stand. Red Dead Redemption.
Well, old man, looks like things is about to get settled once and for all.
This Western video game follows John Marston, a reformed outlaw who is promised a clean slate if he brings his former gang members to justice. However, upon accomplishing said task and returning to his family, the government agents who promised him amnesty betray him and come to kill him.
Come on, old man. I'm gonna need you to help me hold them off.
John is able to get his family to safety, but he stays behind and fights waves of men in a heroic final stand worthy of any Western movie. No matter how much the player tries, it's impossible to save John from his fate. Number 6. Sarah's Death. The Last of Us.
There is something bad going on. We have got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Given how cinematic it is, The Last of Us has a ton of memorable scenes, but its most impactful is one of its earliest. The game depicts an outbreak of a fungal disease that causes people to become aggressive mutants, and the opening focuses on protagonist Joel trying to find safety with his brother, Tommy, and daughter, Sarah.
What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them.
A car crash leaves Sarah injured, and soon after, she and Joel are shot by a soldier, and the young girl dies after she's hit. Not only is this an immediately gut-wrenching moment in a game full of them, but it also acts as an establishing character moment for Joel.
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Number 5. Would You Kindly? Bioshock. Bioshock follows Jack, a plane crash survivor who stumbles upon an underwater city called Rapture. Once here, he is asked by a mysterious freedom fighter named Atlas to help him in overthrowing the city's leader, Andrew Ryan. However, upon reaching Ryan's inner sanctum, Jack happens across a wall with the words "Would you kindly" written on them.
Would you kindly? Powerful phrase.
Words that Atlas has repeatedly said to Jack over the radio. A recording, as well as Ryan himself, reveal that Jack is from Rapture and was conditioned with this phrase to obey, which Ryan demonstrates by ordering Jack to kill him, which he promptly does. This twist turned the already twisted game upside down and tied into its theme of choice.
A man chooses. A slave obeys.
Number 4. Revans Identity. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. It can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity.
Knights of the Old Republic is among the most acclaimed Star Wars properties outside of the movies, and it's for scenes like this one. The player controls an amnesiac Force user tasked by the Jedi to battle against Darth Malak, a Sith Lord, and the former apprentice of the even more formidable Darth Revan.
You cannot hide from what you once were, Revan. Recognize that you were once the Dark Lord.
However, the player actually discovers that you are Darth Revan and that the Jedi erased your memory, leaving it up to the player to decide whether to fight for the Jedi who manipulated you or reclaim your evil throne. The Star Wars franchise is known for featuring shocking revelations in its plots, and this is arguably one of the biggest.
All hail the return of Darth Revan, the true Lord of the Sith!
Number 3. The Nuke. Call of Duty 4: Modern Warfare.
So, are we there yet?
Call of Duty games often feature multiple playable characters depending on the mission, and in this game's 10th mission, Shock and Awe, the player plays a United States Marine Sergeant named Paul Jackson, whose squad attacks a base in Iraq. Although the squad manages to rescue a pilot and evacuate in a helicopter, word of a nuclear attack comes in over the radio and the bomb detonates, bringing down the chopper and killing thousands of people.
Everyone, hang on!
Regaining control of Jackson in his final moments as he crawls through the devastated area is an impactful experience and really hammers home the horror of nuclear weapons. Number 2. Choosing your starter. Pokemon Red and Blue. Selecting one's first Pokemon is a rite of passage for many young people. We'd argue that the most famous instance is in the very first games in the series, Pokemon Red and Blue. Every player begins the game in Pallet Town and is asked by Professor Oak to choose between Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur as their very first Pokemon. Everyone has their preference, but rest assured, your rival is sure to pick the one with a type advantage against yours just to spite you. Well, joke's on him, because we got to pick his name. Wow, it has been an absolute roller coaster of emotions so far. I still remember choosing my first starter, Squirtle, in Pokemon Blue. Now those were the days. Alright, now before we get to the most famous scene in perhaps all of gaming, here are a few honorable mentions.
Okay, here we go.
No, hold on. You're almost there. Just... now! Jump!
What is that?
Where's that coming from, Mendoza?
I don't... There! Mira!
Hold still! Hold still! Let him have it!
civilian personnel will be announced in a separate secure access transmission. Remember, more lives than your own may depend on your fitness.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Aerith's Death, Final Fantasy VII. RPGs have featured the deaths of permanent party members before Final Fantasy was released and after, but there's something about this one that just stuck in our collective consciousness. Watching Sephiroth stab Aerith from behind was truly heartbreaking for many of us when we saw it for the first time. Maybe it's the fact that it was one of the first tragic deaths we saw in a cutscene. Or maybe it's the sad theme music. Or maybe just the loss of such an innocent soul tears at our hearts, even if she is a fictional character. Can you believe it's already been 20 years since we saw Aerith die at the hands of Sephiroth? Honestly, I am super excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but rewatching this scene with stunning graphics is going to be all the more painful. Alright friends, thank you so much for joining us. Please let me know down in the comments what your favorite moments from gaming are, and I'll see you next time. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you like the music playing right now, be sure to check out the full song right here.